Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3, where in the last episode we had another round of talks on the Normandy after the Geth-Quarian situation has been resolved. So let's now leave the system and let's return to the Citadel to meet with Dr. Bryson. We can also meet the Asari Counselor, but I want to do everything in one swoop and not just basically go there now, so I'll just ignore that she wants to talk to us for the time being. She didn't give any time sensitive... she didn't give any indication that whatever intel she has is time sensitive, so I guess everything is time sensitive in a war, of course, but yeah. There's only so much I can do to mimic that.
Against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for a progress report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley? Could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
Alright, for what purpose?
That's an interesting goal, but is anyone doubting the Reapers exist these days?
The Alliance is still desperate for intelligence. Reaper motives, their operational tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did you wind up in charge?
When the rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist, I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge?
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we can just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
Alright, I'm all ears.
I could have used your help 3 years ago.
Yes. If people had paid more attention to your Prothean beacon, we might not be in this war. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
What the hell? Stop this shit.
This is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
What the hell?
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine, but I could use your help sorting this out, EDI. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What? What's happening?
Funny, I wanted to ask you the same question.
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
And then?
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson, there was a loud noise.
That was you shooting him.
I didn't do it, it wasn't me! You have to believe that.
Well, then give me another explanation as to what happened.
So someone else pulled that trigger.
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
That again.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief. About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication. What could have killed the Reaper in the first place? Exactly. That's the real Leviathan. It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down. You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Alright, so this Leviathan is killing Reapers, but he's out of anyone's control. That sounds dangerous.
Anything capable of killing a Reaper could do a lot of collateral damage.
Yet given the state of this conflict, I believe the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," may be relevant.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
Alright, let's try to find this log then. It's right next to us. Really?
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this project travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
Well, now we can find some clues and piece it together somehow.
Let's focus on what he does say then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data, judging by this office.
So how do we narrow it down?
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
Okay.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No, but we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
Okay, let's have a more thorough search through the lab then. Oh, there's a protein artifact here.
Is this Prothean?
Yes. I believe Dr. Bryson and Liara would have had much to discuss.
Can you add a search filter for locations known to have Prothean ruins or artifacts?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the galaxy map program.
Okay. What the frack?
These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding this search filter to the galaxy map.
Thanks. Oh, Sovereign.
Sovereign. Vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
Exactly.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
Well, good thing this is not an The Fifth Element movie, because then we would have probably have to.
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart.
Because then we would have basically have to open him up and find his and find something close to his heart, literally. Ah, that movie. Let's check upstairs.
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern, Commander. The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there, unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
Gotta love cover-ups. Ooh, what's that?
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family? Well, take a look at that.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
All right, let's get back to the datapad we found earlier.
Yeah, let's do that.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Adding the search filter now.
Okay. So,
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong. And Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. If we can find data on the movement of ancient Rachni ships, it may help us narrow our search. Those appear to be sightings of ships that match Rachni signatures.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding it now.
okay. So, what's going on here? The Thorian, August 17th, 2185. The Thorian life form discovered on Pharos provides fascinating insight into the life cycle of a truly alien species. Unlike conventionally intelligent life, it does not use mass relays. Protein artifacts would not interest it. Commander Shepard claims that Reaper enemies cultivated life to evolve along the lines they could predict using technology that the Reapers controlled. The Thorian is an exception to that rule. It evolved to use organic tools rather than conventional technology. Leviathan must be somehow similar to what we've... Leviathan must be somehow similar to have survived undetected for so long. The Thorian used pain conditioning to control its victims, using them as manual labor, or even as a man would use his own hands and fingers. Commander Shepard claims that the Reapers do the same thing through a different process called indoctrination. Whatever Leviathan is, it must do something similar. Okay. What's this?
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
The photographs have a trace chemical residue. It may be visible under another light source. Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. Edie, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Doing so now.
Alright. Rocks.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need EZO?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Of course.
Of course, okay. Great, so now we have several search filters, but before I go there, let's have a look around here, because there's some small stuff hidden here, I believe. Somewhere. Hello. Pistol Autolite materials. Nice. Maybe I can switch up to pistols at some point in the near future and going away from SMGs. Okay. Good, let's apply search filters. Actually, we have a lot of search filters now, which is 6, because we found all these clues in the labs, but some are wrong. So some will lead us to wrong results or no results at all. So I'm gonna actually apply locations with element 0. I find that to be very relevant.
Element 0 deposits.
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless you wish to further narrow the search.
No, I wish to narrow the search, thanks. I think also the Reaper activities are very interesting.
Reaper activity.
Three possibilities.
And I think the creature sightings are also a very interesting thing. I think the blackout crimes have too much errors data and stuff that where people just claimed things, so I don't think that's very reliable. I also don't believe in this Ragnar activity or Prothean activity stuff, so let's do the creature sightings now.
Alien sightings.
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go find Garneau.
Alright. So, we've done that. We can return to the Normandy now. We can return instantly to the Normandy from here, which has more interesting repercussions than you'd think, which are probably going to be talking while we're in transit. Basically, let's take a look back to the events that happened on Tuchanka, yeah? Because there's a lot of ways that we could try to have played this. I mean, we could have tried to go for that Salarian deal to get additional Salarian support, hopefully. But if Urdnard Rex is leading the show on Tuchanka, so to speak, that will not work out. He'll eventually find out, and he'll find out at this point in the game where we have to meet the Asari Councilor and basically confront us about it as soon as we're trying to leave the Citadel. However, because of this DLC, and you can leave just instantly to the Normandy without going through the Normandy docking bay where he's waiting for you in that case, you can just, well, ignore that altogether. There's of course other ways that we could have played it, depending on what our choices Mass Effect 1 and 2 was. There's even a way to have Mordin Solus survive the entire ordeal, because as we've seen, he was sort of uncomfortable with some stuff that was going on. Yeah, especially how Reeve was reacting to stuff and things. So there is a scenario where he can be talked down and the genophage cure won't be finished. But in order for that to happen, and to not forcibly stop him, he neither Rex nor Eve/Becerra need to be alive.
Evasion successful.
So it's possible to have Mordin survive that entire thing, but you need to have the proper conditions, so to speak. So Rex has to die on Vermeil on Mass Effect 1, and you have to not save Malon's data on Mass Effect 2, because without the data, Eve/Becerra dies in the final minutes of the Shroud mission. So, yeah. But if you really like Mordin and if you don't want to cure the Krogan, there is a way to do that with so to say minimum amount of casualties. While the Krogan do not need to be any the wiser, which is a little sad for me, but
we have located Garneau.
We've located Garneau, right. So, but since the time is already up, We'll continue the quest here on Mahavit in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.